Tick loud in the chamber, pressure gets colder. Resla walks in, truth riding his shoulder. Here for the shift, tear the mask off pretenders. Beat drop. He's a fucking monster. Cuts through the noise, pulls the lies in the daylight. Every move calculated, every word's a fist fight. Building new codes, stacking bricks for the future. Turning midlife to gold, cut the chains like a suture. Keep time as a weapon, each tick is a death note. Lights up the skyline, watch the whole city take note. Not chasing the fame, here to freeze what's molten. Break open the silence, keep the truth ice coated. No clock to punch in, he's the one who dictates. Every second's a fuse, watch the skyline detonate.
Hey, what's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Everything is good. I've been working a whole lot of stuff. Still working on some stuff. Trying out some new things. Blah blah blah. You spin off, whatever. I kind of want to have a conversation about something that's it hit me within the last. I want to say the last 5 hours. I had 5 hours to really start thinking about a whole lot of stuff. I was reading a whole bunch of notes. I was reading a bunch of stuff that was coming through in terms of content. I was reading things that was going off from some old posts, from old comments, things that was going on in my email. Today was a really big day for me going through all of my content. How the particular space that I'm in, how I see myself as a creator, but most of all, how other people see me now, me as a creator, me as an individual, me as a human being, me as however you think you see me. People are going to come in, people are going to leave. I expect this because let's be honest, the bulk of most people who come through on my streams, they just think that they're going to just see a whole bunch of people arguing or someone that they can clip and whatever. I don't care. Like I say, if things go well for me, all the people are gonna come back and go, wait, what? Oh my God, Resla, I was here from the beginning. I'm saying, no, you weren't. You were probably one of the people that just dipped from the beginning. So I don't care. I kind of want to talk about something that's really, really prevalent on my mind right now because let me move some things out my way so I can get. But I want to talk about some things because it's something that I need to talk about, and I haven't really wrapped through this because I've been thinking about it ever since I saw all of the things that were coming through today in terms of content. And you'll have to take this however you want to because you're gonna take this however you want to. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm gonna run through this in my best way. I want to do a talk before I talk because I did have something I wanted to go through earlier today with you guys, but I said that this is more important than I need to do. And if you feel a particular way about it, I'm gonna say hit me up at the end of the stream or even in my comment section or industry. Or if you want to reach out to me via my email address, it's all in the description, all that stuff. You can. But I really need to put this out there because a lot of people keep putting on their own personal life choices, their own perspectives, their own battles, their own wars that they wage. And I need to really go through it because it's not in us versus everybody else mentality, to be honest with you. It is a personal thing that people go through internally, especially when they see people that they think should represent their interest. Right? Now, I have always been my own person for a lot of different mainly because I always get roped up in the not even just me. but a lot of us get rolled up in the guilty by association camp, right? And I don't think that's where we should be. I think if we are saying that we all are here, at least in this country of the US, we should all be for liberty and for justice and for all. It doesn't always run that way. We're gonna just keep it a buck. There are the have-nots. There are those who want, and there are those who wish that they had. It doesn't really work out like that for a lot of people. Right now, what I want to talk about is what I see in my particular spacing. And when I say my space, by the way, we're not talking about what the old platform. And when I say my space, I'm talking about people who, and my space is just so large, but most of you guys don't even know this. I have so much stuff going on, so much things I have planned, but you guys really don't have a clue. So many things I've been working on in the background, but you guys really don't know because and I made a stream about this, which is very important. People mainly only think that you are where they first saw you, not even on your own platform, by the way. If they see you on someone else's space, they think that you are that thing, which is why when they go to your space, they are sorely mistaken, or maybe they even get what they want because people run in particular circles. I literally labeled this the talk before the talk to be something that is kind of like an unfiltered cut, an unfiltered talk. By the way, thank you, Miss Raven, for already being here in the building, already gave the wave. I want to acknowledge that you're here in the building. I know most people like to sit there and lurk because they want to know what the conversation is about, because they want to know if it's going to turn into a debate. And most people who happen to be in my particular spacing, not that I created it, but my spacing, love to just sit there and try to go back and forth and have a big banter and screaming contest with one another. It's also something I need to kind of go through. We'll see if we get there. But honestly, I don't give a damn if people want to turn around and give a thumbs up or the thumbs down for this video. They can. But I kind of want to put this out there before we get into the next process of what we're doing in the future. Now, yes, right. Take away your likes. Take away your likes. If you don't like it, take it away. It's not gonna hurt me. Guarantee you, it's not gonna hurt me. It's just literally algorithm stuff. It has nothing to do with what I'm gonna be doing. You can take away all the likes if you like to. The thing that I see that's actually crazy is this idea that people got out here without idea of thinking that we all need to sell outrage. I didn't even have this whole idea of people wanting to be online and all they ever want to do is scream about, say, politics or injustice, right? I really don't give a shit. That's not the whole point of why I do what I do. Even though many people love to try to drag other people into an area, a spacing, a framework, even on things that's not even really important. I didn't have to drag Black people in my space in order to get Spanish people and even white people to applaud for me. If you take a look at my demographics, a lot of people who happen to be watching me happen to be Hispanic, and they even happen to be white people, more white people than anything else. I don't have a problem with that. I think people who particularly are looking for content for a particular mindset will find what's most stimulating according to what they're looking for, not into exactly who is the person that looks like them. You know what I mean? Not everybody sees it that way. I understand it. I didn't have to throw white people under the bus in order to prove that I am, quote, authentic as a Black person, which is wild to even say. You're not Black because you're not demonizing all white people. These are the kind of conversations and the kind of comments and even the kind of emails that I receive online. I just spoke to whoever took the time to understand what the thought the processes of people are and how they come to understand that they can hear things that are different from themselves and from a thought process space and not necessarily from those who are of a pigment space. And for those people, they stayed. Yeah, I have a large, um, mainly base of people who are, oh, nigga, if you're saying shh, I will cut this entire fucking stream off. No problem. You're not the one, but by the way, Resto Chesto, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. If you don't like it, I'm gonna tell you like I'm gonna tell other people, get the fuck out my chat. This whole idea that people can't talk their mind because it's not what we want to hear. Who is you when I'm the one? Not just not to you, Resto, but to all you people. If you don't like what I have to say, don't be in the chat. Just go. And this is again not to you, Resto. Thank you for the 10, by the way. But there are plenty of people who come in. Again, we started out early on with like 8 people in, and then we just left because they were like, "Oh shit, he about to go in." Nah, you don't even know what I was about to say. A lot of people think that they have an idea what you're gonna do or have an idea what you're gonna say. Oh, paying to block yourself? Well, then block yourself. Then. He gave another 10, so I paying to block myself. And then block yourself. I think the issue that we run to in a lot of people, and this is why I say I talk before the talk. Because the original stream that I was gonna do, we was gonna get into our whole Q4. I have a Q4 episode that I want to get into, but I really feel like this is something that needs to be talked about because most of you guys know that when I go live, I go to other people's channels from time to time. I do I do talk a few people that's in my spaces, in my sectors. And I do, by the way, as much as I have a large audience of Hispanics and even quote white people, right? The majority of people are in the that really wanted to collab with me, and it's unfortunate, but the most people who want to collab with me happen to be black people. And I don't have a problem with that. I collab with people who are in the right mindset. It's not a matter of what you look like, it's if you're in the right mindset. And if you haven't really figured out in this over a year, we're almost running 2 years into this whole thing. If you haven't figured out what the right mindset of a person like me is, then I'm gonna say you need to sit by and get out of your own head and actually pay attention so you can understand. I think a lot of people, like I said, I've had a lot of white people, a lot of white people who watch my content, and I'm like, that's fine, no problem with that. Um, because I'm not here for people who are only looking for racial dynamic, who are only looking for uh D and P is what we call in our spaces, dick and pussy, or the thing that's being elevated right now. We're called the EBT space. Let's be honest. I don't even like the idea of the space being called EBT because the EBT space, who is being mentioned to it, is mainly being pushed to say it's black people, but the majority of people who are in EBT is actually white people. I don't like it because we're pushing forth even perspectives on things that's not even considered to be the majority. I don't particularly like it, but I'm not one to knock someone else's hustle on being able to promote whatever gets them the most clicks and views. I particularly don't like it because we're talking about stats here. Now, not 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 for who I am, not for what I do. I just like for people. I like to have conversation with people who actually know how to listen, not to project. For people who don't want to push a narrative I'm not interested in people who just want to promote. I'm actually interested in people who just want to have conversation. I could have made this stream so much more salacious if I had just gone onto a whole bunch of people's places and just started self-promoting and try to ransack their shit from my. It's not important. Spaces like mine are not that important because if you're not looking to be hyperbolic, then no one cares. If you're not looking to be an enemy of the people, no one cares. But then, how much can we say no one cares when people like to talk about Charlie Kirk? I'm gonna let that rest with y'all for a moment. Obviously, people love being offended. I'm just not looking to give it. I think that you can do so much more for your own life if you don't need to worry about people offending you. Why is it there are some people that only look to watch people who offend them? What happened to watching to people who can motivate you? What about watching people who can inspire you? What about watching people who can actually help you do better? You're okay with being upset with people who say things that you don't like and then go back to your normal, boring fucking life afterwards. How that makes sense? Someone needs to sell that to me. How is that appealing? Someone needs to really make me understand how getting a person so upset that they're willing to almost delete not just themselves, but they're also their children, their family, forsake their jobs, forsake everything going on, is okay instead of having content that would actually tell people that you can do better, that you can be better. Let me understand this, and I'm going to say this right now. This is something that I mainly see within two spaces. Because I've traveled around these internet spaces. This is particularly the things that I see from two particular ethnicities. And it's going into other ethnicities, by the way. So let me just bring three in. The first ones I'm going to say are black people. The second ones I'm going to see are white people. And the third are going to be Indian people. Dots, not feathers. Because even Indian people have now polluted themselves and put themselves in the position of talking about DNP, dick and pussy conversation and masculinity and everything else. It is crazy, but anyone who is sitting at nighttime and you just type in live, you'll see it. You will see it. Even now, they have climbed into the whole masculinity, femininity, DNP, single mother, all that shit. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it literally for the last 3 nights. Istanbul, complete dick and pussy shithole. Bangladesh, absolutely dick and pussy shithole. They've all, not even catching, they've all caught up. They have caught up to the aspect, to the idea of what they think the Western world loves to hear, and they have dragged it all into their spaces. We have literally created a space, an internet framework that now has even polluted the Asian world. Let's just be honest. At some point, I'm just going to call it out right now. I'm going to call it out right fucking now. As fast, as quick, and in a hurry that Christianity has spread all the way to the deepest parts of China, this idea of the gender war shit is going to hit everybody quicker. It is going to spread like wildfire. I am not surprised if it is sitting all the way in the two sectors, the two halves of Russia because it is absolutely affecting India as an Asian area. It is absolutely affecting China. It is absolutely baffled and totally disseminated everything that we have here in the West. And when I said the West, I'm not even talking about the little island of Europe. I said what I said. You don't like it? Spin on this. Because when you spin on this and it gets nice and lubed up, I'm going to stick it back in your mouth. So I'm talking about our country here in these United States. It's already fucked. Europe is already fucked. And it's already slipped, by the way, into Africa. I'm seeing more and more channels of DMP conversation in Africa, Kenya, Uganda, take your pick. I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed. Back to this whole thing about me, because I've been watching shit for the past couple of days, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Like I said, I've got so much shit in my mind, so much content in my mind, so much I have to go through in all my tabs. Because I'm finally going through it, and that was just literally yesterday, Sunday, because me and OG totally was so. There might be conspiracy behind that, by the way. Because how was it that, how was it, by the way, that daylight savings and everything else happens on a Sunday, right? Saturday to Sunday switching over. But Friday fucked up everything for Saturday. Friday, I was up doing my thing. Went to sleep on Friday. Got up late at night and that shit said Saturday. And it didn't say Saturday. Sorry, it didn't say Saturday. It said Sunday. Sunday. It went from Friday to Sunday. And I went, this is weird. So now I'm prepping myself for Sunday. Usually my computer, even my other devices, my Alexa, my computer, my phone, all would say the hour difference. No. That's not what happened. My entire system said Sunday. My entire system. I don't have clocks that have days on it. I have clocks that only have time. So even when I'm going through my whole day, I'm like, I can't believe it's Sunday. Where the fuck did Saturday go? Where did Saturday go? I'm doing a whole bunch of shit, right? To the point where I'm like, I can't believe Saturday. Like, I've slept through all of Saturday. I don't remember anything on Saturday. Guys, I drink. But I also stay up. So because I don't wake up on days and go to sleep in the same day, you guys know me that I cross days over. So if I am getting up on a Friday, I cross over into Saturday, and to me, sometimes it can seem like the same day. I've done it for work. I have gone to sleep on Sunday, say doing a DVD. So I've been up on a Sunday on DVD, cross over into Monday, go to work, do whatever I got to do, go to sleep. That's if I don't do a stream, because sometimes I do a stream for you guys on Tuesday because I'm too tired to do it on Monday because I crossed the entire day over. I'm the kind of person that I say this to myself. I do not enjoy sleep. Sleep is important. Let me just say that first and foremost. Sleep is important. Sleep keeps you young looking. Sleep makes it, you don't have the bags in your eyes, all this stuff. But when you are working for more than just another person, let me just put it that way. When you work for more than just yourself, when you are not relying on someone else to give you a paycheck, when you are trying to build and kill and eat what you kill, the world is different. Most people, and I'm not shitting on you, by the way, most people don't understand this. Most people don't know what it's like to work for yourself, where who you're able to convince to take you on as a project and you providing particular results in order for you to get compensation. Most of you don't understand it. Most of you are so used to working for people that if you give your best or not, you give your worst, you still get the same pay because you just sat there for a certain amount of hours. You don't understand. You really, really don't. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. You don't get it. Oh, wrestler, you just make it. You don't get it. Most of you guys, you know what was my first paycheck? My first paycheck came from my 1099. My brother can tell you because actually I got my first 1099 paycheck through because of, if you want to put it that way, nepotism from my brother, who's younger than I am, by the way. My first paycheck was a 1099, not a W-2. Just gonna let you know. I got lucky early in my family. I got lucky, and yet, depending on how you look at it in your own personal point, you would say I got spoiled, which I will say I absolutely got spoiled early in my years. But the idea of understanding the value of money was not missed. It was not missed. I'm not a person that just spent all their money. I'm just the person that didn't get a lot of money, so I didn't know what to hold on to, right? So when I tell you, like, I literally had to work for so long, just working you have to put in the time and put in the effort in order to be able to get something out of it. To be able to say, well, I could just sit here and eat Cheetos because I did everything I had to do for the week and I'm just letting the time go by because I have to be here. Not because I want to be here. I have to be here and getting paid for it. It's not the same thing, folks. It is not the same thing. Some of y'all like to pretend like it's the same thing. Why don't you search? It's the concept of this, by the way. What's the concept of this? If you can't eat bread, Resla, why not just eat cake? Let me say that again for you. Resla, if you can't eat bread, why not just eat cake? Because you have no inclination as to how they're both made. You have no fucking clue how they're both made. That's why. Most of you who have been sitting by and getting paid by an employer, I'm not gonna lie to you, you've been eating cake. You've been eating cake. You don't think it, but you've been eating cake. You haven't been eating bread. You've been eating cake. Sitting back, and whether you give your best or not, you get a paycheck, you've been eating cake. So when I look at my emails, when I look at Discord, when I look at some of the comments that even take place, things that people say in chat, but you forget whether I have to time someone out or delete things from chat. You have no idea the kind of dissemination of ideals that come down from people based on either because they want to spin rhetoric, they just want someone that's just going to be like them, or they want someone who's going to be the kiss ass of what they want, which is crazy to me. These are people who have not had any real hardships in life. If you're here because you think I am your new permission slip to talk recklessly about me or about thoughts or about even Black people, you can get the fuck out right now. Let me just say this. I'm not here for white people. I'm not here for Black people. I am not against white people. not against black people. I just think that there's a conversation that needs to be had regardless of who you are, black, white, Mexican, Indian, dot or feather, Asian even, because I'm not interested in your skin tone. I am interested in your thought process. Why do you think what you think and how did you come to think what you think? Is more important to me, at least here online in doing content, than anything else. I am more interested in your tribalism than anything else. I am here to talk about human behavior, our culture, and how we keep looping through the same damn patterns while pretending that the shit that we're looking at is brand fucking new. The all or nothing game, that tribalism scoreboard that people like to hold themselves on, that shit is real. I won't discount it. It's real. But you know what it also is? Exhausting. That's not to say the people shouldn't have to abide by it, because there are people who absolutely do, but it is exhausting. Even YouTube itself, yes, the very YouTube that is platforming me right now, even YouTube will say that it is more profitable the company to have race and gender wars than it has to have thought-provoking people who might be able to outdo us in the future. I will not deny that racism exists. It 1000% still exists. Is it as far and widespread as it used to be? Probably not. Are there still definite racists today? Absolutely. I will not deny that tribalism exists, because it does. Absolutely. But I'm not interested in camping under the fires of either flag. I will not deny that both flags exist. I will not deny that they try to build their own countries within a country. That's just not what I'm interested in when I'm here online. I know this is something that bothers people. I this this whole this whole all or nothing game, this whole thing, it really doesn't do anything for someone who's trying to put forth what I'm trying to put forth. Because while we can argue all day about who's more oppressed, who more struggled, what do you want to talk about through race or through or government, somebody else out there quietly is owning the infrastructure that is keeping us arguing. Let me say it again. There is someone out there, whether you want to talk about us through race or through class, who's talking about who's more impressed. There is somebody else out there who is quietly owning that same infrastructure that is keeping us arguing. What I'm trying to understand isn't ideology, folks. Hey, baby girl, I see you in here. Appreciate you, baby girl. Got Yvette Marie in the building. Hey, what's going on, Pete? Here. What's going on, Pete? What I'm What I'm trying to understand is not about ideology. Ideology is so quickly to just hear. What I'm trying to understand are the thoughts behind any form of ideology. I am literally trying to run with the mindset of understanding, not indoctrination, understanding. Why we do what we do. How long have I been saying this? Probably since the very first episode. Why do we do what we do? Why we believe what we believe? Why every conversation online turns into an identity audition instead of an actual exchange of ideas and logic? Why do they devolve the moment they're trying to progress? How did we get to a point of not being able to hold frame, not masculine frame? I know you guys are already thinking masculine frame. That's not what we're talking about. How is it you're not able to hold the frame of exchanging logic and thoughts? So yeah, play the "They Not Like Us" theme clip, Kendrick clip, in reference to me, if you even if you want to. Oh, he not holding code right now. He not holding code. Fuck Whitey code. Just play the do 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 do. He not playing the. But I'm like, there's more to be learned. I'm not even saying I'm keeping for white people. Even though if you and I just all about down with whitey, then it's not about doing your own thing. It's not about understanding. It's not understanding how to defeat the enemy between the code. Because if you're a programmer, you can turn around and you can say how much you love JavaScript, right? But in order for you to understand JavaScript, you got to be able to understand all the other codes like C#, C++, Python, HTML. Like, you got to be able to understand that there's more out there than just JavaScript. And by the way, even within JavaScript, do you understand there's a different script called Java that is different from JavaScript? Most of you wouldn't know that. There are layers that are deep, like a cake. There are layers that are deeper than the other layers that you're thinking about. Most of you guys only see the surface of a cake. You don't understand the deeper layers within them. I'm trying to take the time to bring you guys into the under layers of the cake. Because I think the only way that we as a community can get better is that we don't just see the buttermilk covering on the cake and understand the other textures that happen within the cake. Hit a one in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. I know this might go over your head. Some of y'all head. For most of the people who's been watching me for a while, let me know if this is going over. Hit a 2 if this is just going over your head and you feel like you need a little bit of an introduction. Because I've been trying to be very specific, which is why I'm not really going in on this particular episode. Hit a 1 if you get it. Because you've been watching me long enough so you get it. So KM doesn't get it. Then I got cake on my mind. She don't get it. She at number 2. He's number 2. There you go. Raven gets it. There's a difference between buttermilk cream, icing, and frosting. There is. There is. Miss Raven, she gets it. She gets it. He says she gets it. Look, layers on layers of icing. She gets it. Sorry. Peace, you get it though. You get it. You get it. Some people they just don't get it. They don't understand that you can get different layers in the cake. You might get sponge, you might get actual cake, you might get actual ice cream cake. There's a reason why they need to call it ice cream cake. Not because the ice cream is actually cake, but because the ice cream is in the form of a cake, not because it's actual ice cream cake itself. It's not cake itself, it's just ice cream shaped within a cake sphere, a cake image. That doesn't mean it's actually cake itself. Do you get it? The design of a cake does not make it cake. What is incorporated to make it a cake makes it a cake. Cake is not known to melt. Let me say this again to people who don't get it. Cake in itself is not designed to melt. Cake can mold, but it cannot melt. Ice cream cake means faux, fake cake can melt. I don't think you really heard me. Some of y'all said, no, I love Fudgy the Whale. I love Fudgy. Not what I said. Ice cream cake is not real cake. It is faux. It is pseudo cake. Because real cake mold, it does not melt. What I said. To some of y'all, I just picked a fight. To some of you, I just ruined your childhood. To some of you guys, what I just said was blasphemous. But I said what I said. Because cake was never known to melt in any form. Yeah, I said Fudgy the Whale. I sure did. Fudgy the Whale is not real cake. Well, Fudgy the Whale should be renamed to Faux the Whale. Fake the fucking whale. The word cake should not be introduced. Fudgy the Whale should just be called faux cake. Fake cake. Fudgy the fake cake. That's what it should be called. Fudgy the motherfucking fake cake is what it should be called. Hey, Yvette. Strawberry shortcake is real cake. You know what? As much as I don't even enjoy it, velvet cake is real cake. Lemon cake is real cake. Ice cream cake is not real cake. It doesn't have cake. It's all ice cream. It's not cake. Wedding cake, is actually cake. It may have too many bells and whistles and other shit that should not be edible that they claim is edible because it can be digested. I still to this day don't know what those little silver dots are on a fucking wedding cake. I don't like the taste of them. I'll scrape that shit off. The buttercream, I'll eat. I like the taste of wedding cake. But that little decoration and bullshit on it, I'm not trying to touch that. I don't know the little silver and the little fucking and little gold dots and shit on it. I don't like it. Wait. Cheesecake, Raven. Cheesecake is cake because it's made up of a lot of the principles that are made up in normal cake. You can't say the same for Fudgy the fake fucking cake. Ice cream cake is not made the same way as Fudgy. Just saying. As a person who's made many different types of cakes, I can tell you that. I can tell you this. I've made different types of cake. So it's not the same. And OT not the same. Look at the wench. Ice cream cake is made of milk. It's different body. It's a different body. You know what? Let's just say this. The wench. Let's just say this. Ice cream cake is the BBL of cakes. It's fake. We all know it's fake. Oh, you're right. You're right. Cheesecake is pie. It technically is pie. Technically, it is considered pie. Ice cream cake is the BBL of cakes. It's fake. It looks nice, but we all know the truth. Let's just say that. You know what? Next time you go to your for those of you who love fudgy the well, you love fudgy the fucking well. When you walk in there, don't even say fudgy. You just walk in there and you say, yeah. You pull out your card. I want a BBL cake. And they're gonna look at you like, wait, what? Huh? I want a BBL cake, fudgy the BBL cake. That's what you do. You wave your card in front of them, you say you want fudgy the BBL cake. They know what you mean. They're gonna know what you mean. They might laugh. And you could tell them, bro, Resla said ice cream cake is not a real cake, so it's a BBL. So I just kind of want that BBL cake. They're still gonna give it to you. You know why? It's for sale, like a BBL. You know what's not for sale? The authenticity of a real hindquarters. The real hindquarters are not going to be for sale the same way. Fudgy the BBL will never cost as much as an actual authentic wedding cake. I love the taste of wedding cake. Wedding cake even tastes good a year later after being frozen. You know what doesn't taste good after a year of being frozen? BBL cake. Have any of you ever ate a Frosty the BBL cake a year later? Tell me it tastes the same. Tell me it tastes good. Tell me it tastes good. Ladies, come on. A lot of ladies were talking just right now about this whole cake situation. Tell me that ice cream cake, aka BBL cake, tastes the same a year later. Tell me it does. Tell me it tastes even remotely good a year later. After it got the whole frostbite and everything on it. Tell me it tastes better a year later. I'll wait. We know the truth. You go sit there trying to dive in your mind. Well, Resla, well, it was still melting, so the frostbite I had to scrape a little bit off the top, but it might have. I can't remember. You know it was disgusting. You know it was nasty. I know it was nasty. I've had a year old Frosty the BBL cake. It was nasty. But wedding cake a year later, it wasn't at the same great quality, but it still tasted pretty good. Tastes pretty good. Not the same for BBL cake. Any cake, by the way, any real cake can last a little bit over a year. I've seen, and I will say this, I will hold this much out. I have not had cheesecake that has been sitting over a year. And you're right, cheesecake is essentially pie. I have not had it. I have not had it. But this is what we're talking about, the ignorance of what is known and what is not. And part of the ignorance, by the way, is what I deal with even in social media. You said you hear me? I mean, I'm just saying, as someone who cooks, as someone who's eaten a lot of different stuff, I'm just saying. Now back to this whole thing about this whole not like us thing. So that's really how I got into this whole thing. Because BLK, you're not like the original. You're not. A lot of people, let me not say a lot, but for the people who actually wrote to me, there are some who said that I am detached. And there are some people who call me different, not all insulting. Some of y'all like to bring your massa jokes. Some of you like to do the side eye foolery. All of it. All because I choose not to make a skin tone a complete enemy. Again, I'm here for the mindset. I'm not here to try to eradicate people. First of all, you're the minority. You cannot eradicate. At least here in this country, you're the minority. I know that some of y'all believe that the boogeyman exists. You believe it. You believe wholeheartedly, even as adults, that the boogeyman. I don't just mean the treatment of how people look at things as deities. Let's just put it that way. I don't live in ignorance. I'm aware that there's a lot of matters between race and classism and culture exist. I've talked about it with plenty of people who look like me, people who don't look like me. But I also don't live in fear of what these other places and people will do. I don't worry about it. Because to me, fear is the easiest way to control any free person. And that's not who I am. It's not. So so let me ask this. Honestly, people, not just for my people, what exactly is the finish line for all people? What's the finish line? What is considered to be enough to consider the finish line? When every other ethnicity is finding a way to quote rise, when the nation is on life support, which it is, when the economy is burning from both ends, which it is, what's the plan? What's left after all of the slurs and the slogans and the stereotypes, after the panels, after all the outrage? What is left? Because that's where I'm standing. I am standing at the edge of enough, trying to figure out who's actually ready to build and who just likes to sound like they enjoy the arguments. I'm not here to make you comfortable, folks. I'm here to make you think. This is the whole premise of me starting the talk before the talk. This particular stream, this particular short part of the stream, people about what's going to be enough for you. If all you want is this is a pre-talk. I had an original talk I wanted to get into, but I thought we should have a talk before the talk. I want to talk to the people that have so much other shit to say, even though they really don't go about what they want in my content. Because here's the truth, Con. The people who leave me messages, the people who I have to go back sometimes, I have to go search through YouTube to see what they blocked, not what I blocked. YouTube blocks things on its own, by the way. So as a content creator, you have to go into areas of YouTube to see what's got blocked, to see if you want to let it flow through into your comments, or if you want to just let it die. So me looking at some of my emails and even me looking into some of the blocked areas of YouTube has nothing to do with me, has nothing to do with the mods. YouTube on its own will decide what needs to get blocked. And me even reading it, I'm going, what is your purpose? Yes, it is the real conversation I'm gonna have, I was gonna start up talking about Q4. What we are doing, what we are getting, what we should be rolling into, how we should be starting to establish ourselves, beginning to establish ourselves before we officially go into Q1 of 2026. But I feel like I really need to address some of the critiques, which they're allowed to have, but some of the things that were being said in some of the areas that I didn't see, because I don't really go into the quote, and I'm just going to dub it this, the hater section, the hater block section of YouTube. I don't really look there. And I'm going to be honest with you, the majority of people who give me the hate are Black people. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that the people who give me the most shit happen to be people who are, and I've looked at your panels. Not, yeah, there are a couple of you I looked at your panels. There are a couple of you who I've looked at some of the places that you like to frequent and view. It's a shame because you'll say things like you'll look at some of my most highest videos, but you don't actually take a look at what I do as content. So there are people who don't like the fact that they have clicked on a panel and they will see that the majority of people who are sitting on my panel happen to be white people. There are people who don't like the fact that they click on some of the most highlighted conversations that I've had within my, and again, this has nothing to do with me, it's just all about viewership. I can't do anything about viewership. Viewership is outside of me. Viewership is all on you. I am one person. Multiple people makes a viewership. It's outside of me. So when they say like, how dare you, still happens by the way, how dare you have a conversation with white people about, do white people experience racism? Never mind. Never said if they experience racism from Black people. Never said that they experience racism from Asian. Just said, do they experience racism pretty much as well? And the people who reached out to me weren't Mexicans, weren't Dominicans, weren't Puerto Ricans, weren't Spaniards from Spain. They weren't Asians, they weren't Indians, they were Black people. How dare you ask them if they can experience racism? Again, it's their perspective and their thoughts. How dare I even give them the opportunity to think that they can even, which is why I've had conversations with Blacks in terms of, people can be prejudiced, but it can't be like Blacks can be prejudiced, but they can't be racist. I'm going, okay. Okay. I'm flowing into it because I'm thinking about the behavior versus the power. Because I want to be very clear on that. Behavior versus power structure. But this is why I also say I need to have more structure in more information. I said it, more information on other ethnicities outside of Black people who can also claim to the same thing. Because when we talk to, say, like Asians, Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, and I hear some of the things that they say about racism, there happens to be an element in there, and I just think to myself about what some of you guys have said: prejudice instead of racism, because they don't frame it as prejudice. I'm looking at some of the old documentaries because I don't really know feather, I put it that way, Indians, but they don't frame it as prejudice. They frame it as racism. What do we do about that? How do we clear up the difference even between racism and prejudice if all we're claiming is that power is the undeniable thing? Because I even say this, and I even looked at it, and I did the numbers myself, and I confirmed it. Outside of these United States, Caucasian people, white people are not the majority. They're the minority. But if I have to look at the entire globe, do we still see instances of racism? And the answer is yes. So are we talking about a national thing versus a global thing? I don't know. I'm sorting through it, and I don't know anyone that talks about this on a global versus nationalist scale. I've not seen it yet. So now I'm like, either it does exist or it doesn't exist, or if we are we saying now that we're giving rules to say it's all right to be prejudiced, and how far does being prejudicial is versus being racist? Where's the line between being prejudiced and racist? I am in a new arc of conversation, but also thought. Where's the line between, like, do we start doing that, like, for people, like how we say no homo, how we do pause, like, do like, yo, like, hey, yo, hey, Lindsay, yo, hey, yo, Lindsay, I didn't even know you was here. Appreciate you being here. That's what I'm talking about. Yo, by the way, people, give it up to my buttermilk biscuit queen up in here in the chat. Hey, Lindsay, no racial though. Like, how far, how do we do that? How do we do that? How is there, there needs to be a really in-depth conversation as to where the line of things are, because a lot of people like to conflate. We love to conflate. from from Biscuit, yeah. So it's like, what's going on, Lindsay, from Biscuit? Like, there needs to be a real conversation as to whether we just want to say shit just to say shit. Because let's be honest, we see a lot of things even going on the rise in our country, in the US, that people just so desperately want to be like us, not be treated like us, want to get on our nerves, even though it doesn't bother us. And it's like, don't you have better shit to do? I just recently saw several streams of white girls, by the way, not white men, white girls dressing in blackface, trying to get on other people's skin, under people's skin. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Get under black people's skin, and they're like, we don't even care. The question is, let's go look at your content, and we notice that the majority of the content creators, they like to review black content. Why are you not reviewing white content when you are the majority in this country? Why are you reviewing black content? Why do you like us and want to watch us so much? And I'll tell you why. Even though some of you white women won't want to admit it, we the culture. We the culture. Everything that looks great is about us. But at the same time, everything that looks prominent, not in the greatest light, is also us. Kind of want to be us. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Even listen, white ladies, white women, most of y'all have approached me before I've ever approached you. That's just me. I'm talking about me. I ain't talking about black people. I'm talking about me. Most of y'all have approached me. I have not approached you. And I'm talking about more than just being here in New York. It's happened in New York. It's happened in Jersey. It's happened in Connecticut. It's happened in Boston. It's happened in Florida. Like, I don't know what it is. It is there. And this is why we should probably have a conversation about fetishes at some point. At some point, we should probably have a conversation because we haven't had a conversation. We should probably have a conversation about fetish. Because here's my thing. I don't have a problem with people who have a fetish. I do not have a problem with it. Here's my thing. You should have a fetish with someone who has a fetish back for you. So, for instance, if you manage to find a Mexican guy who likes white women and you like Mexican men, it's great. Great. If you white women, if you like to have, if you just say, I want my Tyrone, I would just want someone who's just going to fold me up like a lawn chair, and you meet a guy who just says, all I want is snow bunny season, match. Just have it out there. Have it out there. Tell your white men you deal with the dark side only. And for you black guys, you like to deal with snow bunnies only. And you're a match. You're a match. No problem. Just say what you like. Say what you like. Just say what you like, and it's okay. It is okay. There are some people just gonna be like, yo, I don't rock with that. But you stated what you like, and there's someone for you. Maybe we'll do we'll do a whole new dating app. Damn. Hey, KM, write this down. We took we'll do swirlers.com, cakebatter.com. I don't know. Eclipse.com. We got the sun, we got the moon coming through. Creates the eclipse.com. That's what we're gonna do it. KM, write that down. Eclipse.com. We just gonna strictly mix up those who wanna be on the opposite side of whatever their taboos are. You know, and we're just creating the whole app for it. And it just be good. We just go Eclipse. Eclipse. That's all. You said what happened? Is it a true fetish or is it wanting because so much has been forbidden fruit? So I got my own thing about forbidden fruit, right? So because some people, this might be a little taboo. I don't know. Feel free to straighten me out. Hey, if you happen to be of the faith, you're not gonna agree to this. You're not gonna agree to this. But some people say that the serpent did more than just convince Eve to partake in the fruit. He also may have convinced Eve of a little bit more promiscuity. Some people say, like, Eve was betrothed to Adam, right? But some people say that the serpent might have been Eve's first. And you know what they say, people? You never forget your first. You may be appreciative of the person who comes later, but you never forget your first. People still to this day don't want to acknowledge Lilith. People to this day still don't want to acknowledge Lilith, the original who left the garden of her own volition. So, I don't know. A lot of people, by the way, a lot of people love to partake in things that they are told that they cannot do, that they cannot have. Honestly, here's the crazy part. Here's the crazy part. Listen, you're saying it, Con. Listen, listen to it. Listen, my mother knows. My mother knows, my brother knows. Hell, my stepdad knew. We had something that we called a particular curse in our family. Once you got it, motherfuckers want to be hooked on you. They want to be on you. To the point where we had to be very cautious. Listen, if you guys had ever met my mother, she could be able to tell you, I've had chicks showed up to my door. I've had stalkers. I've had women that my mom absolutely could not stand, and I've had my mom had women come into my house that had absolutely adored. Like I've had my share of the crazies and the absolutely how do I say it? Obsessive women. I've had a few. Most I try not to bring home because, we've all seen Fatal Attraction. We've all seen Fatal Attraction. The one thing you don't want is to come home. Let's just say if I was living with my parents, right? The one thing you don't want is you come home and say your parents are like duct tape in the dining table, and the chick that you broke up with about a week ago is like, "Welcome home, honey. Welcome home." Cooking in the crock pot, and you're like, "What we cooking today?" "I just found some things out in the street." She cooking roadkill in the fucking street. You got your parents like basically saying, "Run, nigga, run, run, nigga, run." And hey, why are you cooking at home? Just want to make it a family affair. You know how much I love your family, but we broke up about a week ago. And she's flicking the fucking dead rabbit stew at your forehead and shit. She flicking the red rabbit stew. We was just joking and shit. No, you would never leave me. You love me way too much for that. She go burn the fucking pot and shit. Now just go get a bowl, serve your mom and dad, and you're like, okay, what are you doing? Why are you behind your arm? My mom got it. She got itch behind her back. She scratched the itch hours ago. Sit down. Sit down, Resla. Yeah, I'm the only one not tied. How was your day today? It was pretty good. Look at that guy. Look at my dad to the right of me. You got to look at my dad. My mom to the left of me. How was your day, mom and dad? School was great today. I'm gonna get you out of here. I don't know how yet. Yo, I'm gonna get you out of here. I don't know how to do it yet. I gotta figure it out. Hey, where's the dog at? It was barking for a while, but I calmed her down. How did you calm the dog down? Not even if she made dog stew. Made dog fucking stew. You gotta be careful. I've had some wild people, and you never know who's the one that might go just the little bit further. A little bit further. So you gotta be careful, people. Sometimes this is why I tell guys, I know guys, you want to lay that pipe down, you want to give that work, but you never give her your best. Give her like your C game crossing into B game. Never give her your A game. Never give them your A game. If you give them your A game, they might do something atrocious. I just say it. I'm just saying. You never know. You never know. Next thing you know, you're sitting there with your parents, basically hogtied, but sitting in the fucking chairs, and your dog is being fed to you because she wants to prove to you how much of a good cook she is and how much she wants. She's like, I had so much conversations with your parents, and we've all agreed I am the woman for you. I agree. And you're like, I don't think there was much of a disagreement. She's like, I know. Try it. And you're smelling it, and then you're like, this smells no. Yeah, try it. Mm-mm, I don't think I will. You know what my cookie? And then she flipped the whole fucking table. I just this is how you treat me. It's like, go ahead, try it. The food's on the fucking floor and shit. You still got your parents tied on each end of the fucking what used to be a table and shit. You want me to try this dog meat? Yeah, no. No, 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 no. This is why, folks, when I walk outside and I do everything, I walk with one of these on me. Because sometimes, sometimes you just gotta make sure that you handle your relations with care. Care, mercy, and a little bit of grace. Just a little bit of grace. Because you never know. You never know. You never know. See, you say to be in Wrestler's head. It's worse than that, Lindsay. Is to have Wrestler's head in you. That's what starts some of these. That's what starts some of these. So just putting it out there. Sometimes it's not about what's in Wrestler's head. It's about Wrestler's head being in you. There has been which head exactly, cousin Lawrence, exactly, man. That's exactly the question. Which head? Pause. Pause. Hey, he said pause. Hey, I'm just saying, like, so there's a curse. There's a curse. But you guys look at Spider-Man, but for my family, we said, like with great responsibility, to use your head is to use great responsibility. That's just what it is. Hey, Khan, you laughing. Don't act like my guy. You haven't had some chick on her knees telling her about, give me the wet work. Give me the wet work. Don't act like Khan. You never had someone down telling about, give me the wet work. Give me the wet work. Wrestler, give me the wet work. Don't act like it. Don't act like it, Khan. Don't act like it. So you gotta use great responsibility. Great responsibility. Because you never know who you're gonna get. For right now, they look like Gwen Stacy or whatever, and then later on you catch them and they're the Black Cat. You gotta watch out. You never know. Like, this is the whole thing about Batman, right? When Batman came in to take care of lower criminals, bigger criminals came out. That's how you got Two-Face. I get what. So you gotta act. You gotta exercise your shit judiciously. Because if not, you if not, if you sling your shit all around the city, you might create a Joker. You say this is wild. If there's a guy who's got the strong enough Batman D, he might create the Joker. That woman is going to be a terror for Gotham City. I'm just saying. Opposites attract, right? And then she'd be like, it's all for you. It's just to make you laugh. It's just to make you laugh, Batman. Ruins all of your relationships, burn down your car, burn down your house, everything. Don't you think we're great together? We want to kill you, Resla. We're just too much fun together. And gives you the whole cynical laugh and everything. And you're like, I made seafood pasta for your friends. And like, when did you meet my friends? Oh, I sent them all a text and we all met up for dinner. And it's like, I didn't get that text. I was surprised. I just want to get your friends behind your back. And then she fed them little pieces of other people to them. Like, you never know. Never know. A what? Of gifted blacks that, ooh. I'm saying I've had me my share of stalker. Let's just say this, guys. I'm gonna you just be honest. I'm gonna be honest. How many of you guys have ever officially had a restraining order on a chick? One in the chats. If you officially gone to police and had restraining orders on a chick. I'll wait. I know a lot of us, we don't want to do it. We be like, yo, yeah, it's too embarrassing. How many of you guys have had your dad, by the way, when you're living with a stalker chick? How many of you guys have ever had your dad say, enough is enough, I'm gonna help you move out? Your dad. How many of you guys have heard your dad come through on the low, by the way, when the chick that you're dealing with is not home? Help you sneak out the house with all your shit and move out. How many of you guys had your dad do that? Come on, one in the chat, y'all, who have had your dad co-conspire with you to help you move out on the low to move away from a stalker chick. Let's type of one in the chat. You know what? I'll lead it for you guys. That's me. There's a one in the chat. There's a one in the chat. How many of you guys have had that? Hmm? Hmm? How many of you guys have had that? Hmm? Hmm? That hasn't happened. That's it. You said Hannibal? You said Hannibal style? Where am I getting these? No, they're just all around New York City. They're all around New York City. Lindsay, they are all around New York City. It just so happened the chick that I happened to pick up that time was literally from Queens. She was from Queens. And I met her in college. Not the bus station. That would have made sense if she was from the bus station. See, here's the funny part. Y'all think, well, okay, outside of the family home tying up shit, that ain't real. But as far as having the stalker shit, it's been pretty. A stud horse. Wow, that's crazy. I don't know how to take that compliment. I don't know how to take that compliment. That's crazy. I don't even know what to do about that. Say you're slippery. You're slippery eel. I wasn't that slippery. I wish I had developed the skills of a jizz ninja, but I didn't have it. I didn't have it. I did not have it. That's crazy. Hey, listen, you do what you got to do with what little you got. Wait, why is Miss Raven scaring you? What? You said dad wasn't around. Well, my at the time my dad was around, so he was like, "Hey, when we gonna make? Listen, it was like a jewelry heist. Yo, when we gonna make this plan? Yo, she she going out. I made sure I made her meet like nice and secure. I was like, yeah, yeah, you can go out that night. You can go out that night. I'm just gonna be home. Yeah, I'm sick. Like I've been faking sick for like 3 days. Yeah, she gonna be gone that, and we gonna just go. I'm gonna clear everything out. I I I never packed. I packed everything in one single day. Usually people box they shit. It takes them about 2 or 3 days, Lindsay. I've got everything packed and boxed in one day under the cover of basically night. In one day, Lindsay, one day. I packed in everything, no sleep, one day to get the fuck out of Dodge. Not even joking. Not joking. That he was there to help me. We packed everything. No 2 trips. Everything. Whatever couldn't fit in the car got left. Whatever couldn't fit got left. And let me tell you, I left nothing behind. I made sure everything fit. When I tell you guys, and you guys can hear me saying this for a while now, there's a place for everything and everything in this place. That means even for packing, I left nothing behind. There were no return trips. Everything was gone. She blew my line up. Got blocked. 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 But keep in mind, that didn't stop her from showing up to my parents' house either, by the way. She sure tried. Sure tried. She wasn't Puerto Rican, by the way. She wasn't. I've had better. Listen, I've had some. I've had me. That, by the way, the most crazy chick that I've had that was Spanish was Dominican. It was a Dominican chick. Puerto Ricans, I've had some attached ones, but they haven't gone crazy. But the chick that I'm talking about wasn't even Hispanic. She was not Hispanic. Ooh, if it was a Jennifer Lopez, I'm not gonna lie, I probably wouldn't have left. I probably wouldn't have left. J Lo still looks pretty good in her 50s. She still look pretty good. She going through some bullshit because all her marriages and everything like that. So there's no way I would have. But she still look good for her age. I didn't know who J Lo was. Still crack. If I didn't know anything about J Lo, I'd still crack. I crack. What's good, no chasing? Will in the building. What's going on, man? If it don't fit, make it bigger. Hey, there you go. No, Will. It's even better than that. We are men. We're gonna make it fit. We're gonna make it fit. We don't give up. We're gonna make it fit. And that's just the way it is. Go get we've been saying this for years. We come from black oil, Crisco, whatever. We gonna make it fit. It's gonna fit. We're not gonna walk away in defeat. We're gonna make it fit. It's just the way it is. Yeah, I've done it. I've made the mistake of trying to get a woman's soul. I've realized don't do it. Don't do it. And after that situation, and I got on dates and everything with women, especially if it's like a one night or even a week or whatever, I don't try to take their soul. I don't do it. I don't try to do the whole saying, "Soon your soul is mine." I don't try to do it no more. Because I learned my lesson. I learned sometimes you don't need to be Shang Tsung trying to collect souls for Mortal Kombat. You just don't do it. Don't try to collect souls. You just leave it alone. You be sitting there, you be doing your thing with her. Yeah, yeah, and you just grab her head. Your soul is mine. Don't do it. Don't collect souls no more. No more. I let them choose it for themselves. I be feeling that palm you. No, don't collect souls no more. I don't collect souls no more. Because I understood when you collect the wrong soul, they stuck to you. They get stuck to you. Just you don't do it. I know some of you guys, you do your thing, and you just try to get, you get your little Shang Tsung on, and you like, yo, you just feel it in your hands. You just want to take the soul. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just you gotta really know what you're doing. Just guys, you know when if you're soul extracting, if you're dealing with a woman and she says, I don't know what you're doing to me. Stop. Take a pause. Back off. If you're dealing with any woman and she says, like, anything she says that where you're doing something to her, you're soul extracting at that point. You're taking some form of essence. I don't know what you're doing to me right now. The things that you're making me feel right now, you're making me do right now, like you're soul extracting. Just cut it off. Cut it off like a guillotine. Cut it off, because that can lead you down a nasty path. A nasty path. Stop playing. What are you doing to me? Stop. Don't do it. Don't do it, because you're creating a potential demon. You are you're doing the whole, like, the 10 rings. You're doing some soul manipulation. You're doing this. You're doing the fucking. You're doing the fucking you're doing a Doctor Strange. You're conjuring shit. Oh, don't be down there. Don't be down there. Don't be down there on the clit. Don't, bitch. Yeah, don't stop. Don't do it. Guys, you know what you're doing. Stop it. Stop trying to take souls. Stop trying to be in a new dimension. Stop doing it. Just chill the fuck out. Have your own life. It's okay. You're good. Calm down. Yeah, you're doing too much. The shackles in your left ring finger. Exact. Listen. So I tell you, like, stop down. Stop it. Just chill. With the D opening on the portal. Yeah, exactly. And the port, like, and y'all conjuring portals in the inside. He can't see it, you can't see it, but you know you're casting it. You know you're casting it. Listen, this one young cat. I told him, he started laughing instantly because he knew exactly. I was like, yo. I said, you've been trying to get that girl pregnant, have you? He was like, no. I said, you nutted her? He's like, yeah. I said, okay. When you nutted her, do you dive deep and then you move it around like you're stirring at her? He starts laughing. I said, you're a demon. You're a demon. You know what you're doing. If any of you guys nut in a chick and you dig deep and do you move your body because you're trying to stir it, you're a demon. You're a demon. You know exactly what you're doing. You know what you're doing. I've done it. I know what you're doing. You're nasty. You're trying to take her soul. You need to stop. I've been there. Just don't stop. Just you live your life. You're good. You don't have to be terrible. You don't have to be a terrible person. But we know what you're doing when you're trying to do that. Stop. Didn't feel it. Yeah, I know what you're. Yeah, exactly. We know the game. We know the game. You think, well, I'm just laying it down. No, we know what you're doing. You're conjuring. Listen, we know what you're doing. Listen, Will knows it. We know what you're doing. See, we know what the Conjuring is at the end of the day. Whether it's the Doctor Strange, or even in the inside, you're stirring it. We know you're doing the same thing. You're doing. You're just trying to open the door to get her soul, to snatch her soul. Stop doing it. All right? Yeah, stir it up. Bob Marley, even Bob Marley said it. The sacred waters. Stop. Dick voodoo. That's exactly what it is. No. See, you don't know. You don't know because the God you're with has been kind. He been he been sweet. He been kind. he, he been nice to you. He hasn't been trying to take your soul. He didn't hit you. He didn't hit you from the back, slap you up the cheek, and then grab the back palm of your head and say, "Your soul is mine, Cam. It's mine." And just pull it, and you just feel everything drawing out of you. Yeah, you ain't get that, Cam. I know. That's why I said you got a nice guy. Keep the guy. You don't want the soul snatchers. There are soul snatchers out here. Don't You don't need it. You don't need it. Like just be okay. You haven't dealt with them. It's all right. It's all right. You haven't dealt with them. It's okay. And that's right. I want less traumatized people out there. You know what? We need to. You know what? Where's the law firm? We need to create an extension account for people who want to be reformed soul snatchers. Like they harvest enough souls. It's like being like being a vampire that you don't want to take anymore. You don't want to kill anymore. You don't want any more victims. You don't want it to create any more victims. You just want to chill now. Like you'll say, you know what? I've hunted enough. I've hunted. I just need. I'll try the synthetic blood. I'll try it for a little while. It's not gonna be the same, but I might try it for a little while. I just I'm a refor. You sit there. You sit there. You're a former vampire. Hi, I'm Resla. Hi, Resla. I'm a reformed soul snatcher, and it's been 17 days since my last soul snatch. I remember when I used to snow snatch outside of this club. Oh, tell us about that time. You are the way, girl. That poor girl. It was outside the club. It was a Monday. It was a dry day. Monday, just right up. She was just fresh in from the church. Going to the Monday morning. So she was just fresh in. Oh, she was praying all day, praying all day, all day. And just couldn't. I knew it was wrong. I knew it was wrong. But I had to do what I gotta do. I was really fiending. I was the call. Couldn't resist the call. It's all right. Yo. The person that grabbed your shoulder. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right, wrestler. It's all right. When you're ready, just ain't no rush, brother. Just let it out. Thank you. So, 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 I approached her. I approached her. I was like, "Yo, this ain't me no more." But I was like, "Yo, where that ass at? Yay, what's going on? What you doing?" You're like, "Yo, how you feeling? What you drinking? Yeah, what's going on? Yo, you want some of that?" Rest. You slipping. You know, you're right. I'm slipping. I'm just fast forward. You're right. You're right. So it was in my place, and I was just thinking, this is gonna be nice. She might be, she could be the one. She could be the one. But but I felt that call, that urge. You know, as Dexter called it, the dark passenger. You know what I mean? I felt that. I felt that. Felt that. And I was thinking, I can't do that to her. I can't do that to her. And then you know what she did? You know what she did, y'all? Oh, she did, y'all. Off her little pants. And she took off her shirt. She had the nice look like it was a training bra, but it wasn't a training bra because the tits were just small enough. But she looked little training bra. It's just so hot in here. And I took her soul, y'all. The mama's shit. She was out there. Was laid out like a car. Couldn't even move no more. And I still wanted more. And I palmed her fucking forehead. And I said, your soul is mine. Mine. And she followed me for over 6 months. 6 months, saying, I that's not, I killed. And all I just said, you mean nothing to me. I got your soul now. Go wander the streets. Whore. I'm no longer like that no more. I am a reformed. I'm Resla, and I am a reformed soul snatcher. Say it with me, people. Hi, Resla. And we're all reformed soul snatchers. So I no longer do that. I have been a reformed soul snatcher for 9, 10. Oh, so it's been 8. It's been 8.5. Almost. I've been a reformed soul snatcher. Yeah, Soul Snatchers Anonymous. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. It has been. Sometimes you got to go to meetings. It's been 8 years since my last Soul Snatch. And they give you and they give you chips too. They give you little chip. Wait, damn, where my chip? It's been so long. I put my chip somewhere. There's a chip. They give you chips for not soul snatching. It's real. It's nice. Okay, so here it is. Here it is. Here. Oh, damn! I kept in a nice little plastic too. Hold up, hold up. Here's my chip. Here's my chip. They give you little chips. Here's my chip. You know what the chip says? You're an asshole, but I love you. That's your chip. Damn. Let me see if I can. Damn, it's been so long. Hold up. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can focus it on it. I'm in that. You're an asshole, but I love you. That's the chip. You get these chips like every year or so when you go to your Soul Snatchers Anonymous, and it just reminds you. It reminds you that that you are an asshole. You'll never stop being an asshole. You'll never stop being a soul snatcher, but you remember of the lives that you ruined because they said that they love you. So yeah, there goes your. So just want to let you know, I am a reformed soul snatcher. So Lindsay, you ain't got to worry. You ain't got to worry, Lindsay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, not mementos. There's not. It's not like we got locks of hair and shit like that. It's not. It's not that. It's not like. It's not that, Lindsay. This is literally from my chick. Like, it's an anonymous group. Like, we literally have anonymous groups. Like, so. Yeah, yeah. It's not one of those. It's not one of those. Like, we don't have locks of hair. We don't have like. Oh yeah, there was this bitch, and she don't know I stole one of her stilettos. Oh, don't gone that far. I'm not one of them. Like I haven't done it, but I'm on my 8th year chip. So I'm good. I'm good. I'm on my 8th year chip. So yeah, I am I'm good. It's not that I don't get urges, people. I get urges, but I have a great support system. I had a girl, like I've been really with she rocking with me for a while, yeah. Yeah. So if you happen to be one of these people that you are a soul snatcher and you feel like you need to be better, just tap in with your boy and I'll get you hooked up in the system. We'll make sure that we get you to a meeting. I'll be, it's been 8 years, so I can be a sponsor for you. I'll be a sponsor for your soul snatching. I'll do that for you. For you, you too can be a reformed soul snatcher. Just letting you know. No, the group is anonymous. I'm not anonymous. I see. I'm gonna let you guys know, but I know people who are in transition of being reformed soul snatchers, and I do know other reformed soul snatchers. It's just being part of the group. I'm just letting you know. Like if you are a soul snatcher and you want more, if you want to stop, you know, if you want to stop leaving holes at the side of your bed. They can't even be in the bed. You just kick them out on the side of the bed. You could just roll them out like dead bodies, like, and then just fall on the other side of the outside the bed. Like, if you want to stop leaving holes on the outside of your bed, just tap in with me, and we'll get you set up in a meeting. You too can be a reform hole snatcher. You too can be a reformed soul snatcher. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to fuck the daylights out these girls and then just throw them out, throw them out the bed. They just they're shivering in the cold on the side of on the hardwood floor. It's like, I know what it's like. I know what it's like. And if you want to treat them better, if you want more for yourself, if you want to know what it's like to lay in bed with a warm body instead of laying in a king size bed all by yourself while you're shivering on the fucking cold wooden floor. Just tap in with your boy. Tap in. And you too can learn to become a reform soul snatcher. So you know how to reach me. ReslaOpinionated at gmail.com. You can do better. You can do better. You can learn to embrace another body again. Not shivering snatches. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's not exactly what it meant by chill snatch. Exactly. You said just send the next software. Hold on, make sure my laptop don't die. Hey, you say that, but I'm not gonna lie, Lindsay. There's been some. This happened at least one time. There was a soul snatcher that dropped one off. It wasn't a Denny's, it was an IHOP. But it was one that dropped one off, got it cleaned up and everything, dropped it off at a Denny's. It's not Denny's, IHOP. And then she was crying there and everything. And I just wanted my eggs, they sell eggs all the time. So I wanted my eggs and my bacon and everything. I was just chilling. And this was in Florida. I was like, hey, what's going on, sweetheart? Why you crying? She was like, I just met this guy. I thought he was gonna get my head. He treated me badly. I was like, he did? What'd he do? He did this. And basically he said, he basically fucked the shit out of her in the back of his car, and then he dropped her off got her cleaned up at the motel. They fucked in the car, fucked in the motel, and then they turned around and then she cleaned up whatever. And then he was like, yeah, so I gotta go home, whatever. He didn't even leave her in the motel because apparently it was bad. And he dropped her off fucking IHOP. I was like, that's crazy. And I'm looking, I'm like, that's crazy, baby. Baby girl, he did you like that? Let me look at your face. Let me look at your face. Look at your face. Damn, that's crazy. He didn't do no damage. He didn't hit you or anything, did he? Damn, girl, that's crazy. Too cute to be treated like this. You know what? Excuse me, miss. Can we two menus? Two menus, please. And I hit that shit the next day. I hit that shit the next day. But I didn't just throw her out. I let her stay the rest of that night in the motel. I went home. I hit that shit the next day and I went home, but she could stay all the way until 11 p.m. the next day. I'm a good man. Yes. Yes. I was a good man. She had a place to stay for the night. Back when I was a soul snatcher, I'm no longer like that. I'm no longer like that. That was the old me. That was the old me. That was the old me. I wouldn't do that no more. I wouldn't do that no more. I wouldn't do that anymore. That's crazy. No, she needs a place to she needs help. She needs a place to stay. I would never do that. It's crazy. I am a mm-mm. That's crazy. Why do that? Like I felt ashamed when I had to come to that recollection that I could have done so much more for her. Not to her, but for her. For her. Yeah, exactly. She gets the best of me, not the worst of me. Yes. You're absolutely right. Happy endings. Exactly. More happy endings than you ever realized it. But anyway, happy ending. But either way, either way, either way, she gets the best of me. And that's the moral of it. You too can become a reformed soul snatcher. Just tapping with your boy. Tapping with your boy. That's it. That's all. I know there are some of you out there. You're too afraid to talk. You're too afraid to tap in. Just like you don't got to do it on stream. You got to do it in the chat. I know you're there. I know you're there. So when you're ready, just you can go down the description box and you can just tap in and we'll get you set up. We'll get you set up. Don't worry about it. We'll get you set up. He says the Pink Floyd tune. Hey, play it. Damn. Nah, I don't. It's not. It wasn't. It's not like that. Not that. Not that at all. Nah, not throw hotline. I ain't. We ain't doing no. We ain't doing no hotlines because I don't think social media will be ready for that. That might have to be like a. Like if it ever blew up, that might have to be like a Sirius XM kind of radio call. No chaser. Like I don't. It would have to be like a Sirius XM kind of radio call. I don't think they. I don't think YouTube or any other platform would produce or even promote a hotline call that would be live. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? There's no way that would let that fly. There's no way I can even put myself like really on screen because people would just be judging all of it. They'd be judging the people that's up there. I gotta make everybody anonymous and shit. I can't do that. It would have to be one of these. It would just we would just have to turn around. We just have to go all the way through. We just have to be like wrong one. You know what? I can't even have myself on camera. That's not even the way. It should be like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? And how are you? How are you today? Huh? Hello? I was like, hey, yeah, what's up? Yeah, we Resla, you're on the air right now. How you doing right now? Hi, I, I'm Cameron from Cincinnati. Oh, hey, what's going on, Cameron? Cincinnati calling in. How you doing, Cameron? I just called in because I was dealing with this guy, and his name I don't even know his I don't even know if his first name was real. I just know his last name was Chesto. Okay, so tell us more about this guy. He was Chesto, and oh, wait. Cameron from Cincinnati. Hold up. Just get a little bit of a breather. What's going? the- If you didn't tell me anything that you don't need to tell me. Yeah, yeah, you're safe. Hey, here we listen. We don't judge. What's going on? The guy Chesto. He, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of into him, and then he fucked the shit out of me, and then he said, "You're." Oh shit! Damn, Cameron? How you feel about that? Because he put his hand like on my skull, and he said, "Your soul is mine." And he said, "You're." I was supposed to be yanked back up my hair, and I after he was done, I felt like I was his. Hey, Cameron. Cameron, I just want to let you know that we don't listen. We listen and we don't judge. But I do want to let you know, I know that guy Chesto, and he says, "You're a whore. You are a whore." Where did you meet him at? Huh? Where'd you meet him at? And then I had to call Resto and say, "You fucked up. You fucked up, my guy. You really fucked up. Why would you do that to her? That is not cool. I know who you are. What the f is the 10? He gets the 10. Talking about that you won't get Resto, don't know." Uh-oh. They came for me. Think they were coming for me. That's what it is. And my whole system almost crashed on me. That's crazy. Anyway, we're back here. Is it smooth move? I'm just thinking. Wait, what was that? Oh, what was that? My, it seemed like the system came for me. The system tried to knock me out real quick. Nope, not having it. I have contingency plans, folks. I have contingency plans. Sometimes it works out. That you say it's probably Miss Resto. Miss Resto saving my ass. No. It is these internet streets. See, they know that I have a lot that I could say from my background. They say, we know what his background is like. We didn't think that he was gonna do a tell all. Here's the thing. They want to cut me loose because they didn't expect I was gonna say shit online. What they want me to do is they want me to write a book. They want me to write a book. So they're like, you talking too much. We expected this to be in the book. You talking too much. They want this to be in the book. So they, no. There's a little publicist going on. There's a little book in the making. So now they're trying to cut me off because they don't want me to say too much. They want the book to come out. That's all. I don't know if the book gonna sell. I don't even know if the book gonna sell. They just like, yo, Resla, we need that book. But like, you talking too much. That's what it is. No, I ain't gonna. No, we can't. We can't talk about what the book might be. We have not decided on the book title. We have not decided the book title. No, it will not be The Young and the Wrestler. Yeah, even though that does sound good. But by the way, the reason why we definitely can't have it called The Young and the Wrestler because they literally charge you per character. Even the spaces, by the way, for a book, they charge you a lot of money to do all the printings for for just for your cover of your book. So like the more words, the more they charge you. Be aware. Okay, Lindsay Smith with the entertaining, educational, dastardly. I appreciate you, Lindsay. I appreciate you. I'm just saying, like, if you think my story's right here, it's crazy. Like, imagine if you get the one that actually would come out in the book. Just saying, the book might be a little something, just a little something. So, I've been trying to figure out what in my life. I've done a lot in my life. I've done a lot. Besides putting resto here on this earth, well, I've done a lot, and I've done a lot, and I don't know what should go and what should not go into a book. So if the internet be like, yo, we gotta cut him off because he's saying too much, you know what I mean? This could be a chapter 5, you know what I mean? Damn. I'm just saying. Listen, the Wrestler Report. I thought about the Wrestler Report. I thought about Off the Record. I thought about a lot of different. I thought about a lot of mice and wrestler. That's crazy. Damn. I even think about that. That's a hey. That's a fucker right now. Make sure they mark that down. Wrestler. Crazy. Nah, no, we are. Oh, Resla Board Dogs. Oh, okay. All right. I caught that. I'm just saying. So I gotta consider what I want to be in this. Some people are like, no, what you need to do? You need to do a biography, and I'm like, what could do a biography? I mean, like, they do an autobiography, but I'm like, yeah, but if I write an autobiography of myself, yeah, I don't know what's gonna be what. Talk about all the shit that's real. There's a lot of shit that's real. There's so much shit that I don't think about it until it comes up in the moment. It's hard for me to remember every moment of my life. And that's why they say, you should write as soon as possible so that you can break down different books. And I'm like, you might be right. Maybe I need more than one book. Maybe I need like a trilogy in a book. You know what I mean? Someone said write the Wrestler trilogy, basically. And I was like, do I really want to think that I could write a trilogy? No, it can't be Little House on a Wrestler. It has to be Little Horror on the Wrestler. That doesn't sell. You gotta make it salacious for the that want to pick it up. Little Horror on the Wrestler. That'll sell. Lindsay. If you write that, that'll sell. Little House, they're like, oh, okay, it's this some black guy. He's in a little house, probably the projects. But if you write Little Horror on the Resla, oh shit, I gotta see this. I gotta see it. What little horror was it? What did she do to get him? What did she say? How did she get him? How nasty were they? Like, yeah, so you gotta elevate. You gotta elevate. Red Riding Resla. That now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. Yes. Yeah. Now you're getting it. Yes. Now you're getting it. Not little red wrestler hood. No. Red Riding Wrestler. Yeah, you getting it now. Now we got it. Now we're getting the titles. Now we're getting the titles out there. Let's go. Yeah. That's how we get it going. No, it can't be Tales from the Hood. I think someone's already got that. Probably in a movie form. So yeah, I mean, we kind of try to figure it out. You know, I'm not one who really likes to write. I talk, so that means I need to have a writer. And I'm like, it mainly it's gonna be the writer at the desk, and then me just pacing back and forth, recanting the stories, and then they're sitting there just typing it out and shit like that. Like that. That's the way it's gonna be. I don't really sit there and write my own shit out. I gotta sit there and they gotta be like, wait. So that happened after or before you put your thumb in her ass? Because you kind of mixed me up. Like, you know what? You're right. That happened after I put my thumb in her ass. Okay, got you. So, and then they go back and they start typing that shit in. That's the way that happens. So, like, I need someone to sit there and type out the shit as I'm saying it, as I'm recounting the events. That's the way that happens. That's the way it happens. I know. I know. It takes a lot. And I gotta keep in mind now. I gotta make up all different names for the girls because they didn't agree to it. They didn't agree to. I gotta make up names for them, but names is kind of like close to like their ethnicities. So like instead of me just saying, I gotta be like Jennifer. Jennifer was a sweet girl who I met. Blah 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 blah. I gotta have another girl, and I'm like, yo, this was uh Shanti, who was a nice girl who did da. I gotta talk about another girl. Yo, we can call her Jennifer. We can call her like J Lo from the block, but it wasn't J Lo from the block. But yeah, we gotta make up different names for the girls so that they don't feel like they're outed. Because for all we know, these girls got kids. For all we know, that these girls they married now. And what we don't know, what we don't want, because men don't really like to be reading books these days. Even though men, I advocate that you read books. It's very important that you read books. You get more information out of books than you do an audiobook. But let's just say if the man's he's listening to an audiobook, right? He got his shit in, like that. He's like, yo, this dude wrestler, he cooking. Like, wait, she did what? And she did what? And she was in the Bronx too. Yo, my girl was in the Bronx. Around when? It was the 90s? Hey, yo, my girl was in the Bronx in the 90s. And what avenue? Hey, yo, my girl was in that avenue. It ain't her name, but that's awfully close to her name. And she said, what? And she said, what? Yo, my girl says this to me. Hey, yo! Hey, yo! Yeah, I don't need that. He called his girl, he puts in the headphones, and then she hears the audio voice and the audio book. And knowing me, I'm not gonna let somebody else read the audio. I'm gonna read the entire shit out. That means she gets to hear me recounting the tale of our escapades, of her getting her guts beaten, of her guts eaten in, and all while her husband is hearing it, and she's like, uh, uh. He's like, you hear it yet? She's like, yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't know. That's not me, baby. What book is that, baby? What book is that? Yeah, she's sitting there like, mm, Mm, mm. He's like, yo, did you hear it yet? You hear the part yet? She's like, shh, I'm listening. Shh. Mm, mm. No, I don't know anything about this. I would never do that to you. That's not me. That nigga, he tripping. And whoever that was, he tripping. That's not me. That's not me. What book was that? I'm gonna give it a 0 stars reviews. It's gonna get a 0 stars review. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we know the truth. Next thing you know, they're going to hear there's a Resla books. There's a Resla book signing, and she gonna be one of these people. There's a book signing. She gonna walk up. Yeah, I'm sitting there like, okay, who do I sign this to? To Danica. Found you, Danica. Okay. Love Resla. All right, cool. Appreciate it. She's like, and she walks off. Another girl come through. Can you sign? That's what you saying here in line. You want to sign your book, right? Okay, cool. To Christine Love Resla. You know what makes this book better? I'm like, I already got you. Here you go. And then she reads. And then the girl who actually was doing everything, she's like, sign my book. And I'm like, to Jennifer from Resla. Number when you want to go. Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You know she gonna you know she gonna call the number. You know she gonna call the number. Just you know she gonna call the number. That's all. No, there ain't no 50 shades. Ain't no 50 shades. Ain't no 50 shades. It is what it is. Just saying. When the book come out, it is what it is. I will never listen. One thing that any woman who's ever dealt with me knows this. I will not out any woman's name. That doesn't mean that if you read the book, you will not understand the scenario that you may have been in. There are some, listen, here's the truth of the matter, guys. There are some women who might just want to get with me, just wondering if they're going to be a part of a chapter. They'd be like, fuck Wrestler. He talking this bullshit. Fuck him. He ain't shit. And then next thing you know, you hear things like, hey, yo, me, Kev, Resto, we gonna be at the link up part, right? And then like, where the link up at? And next thing you know, all of a sudden, they hitting up email, they pulling out email chart, they trying to figure out what hotels they can sleep at that might be nearby because they don't want to be too far from the link up. And the next thing you know, they trying to be part of a whole shit. And then all of a sudden, hitting me up like, oh, oh. Hey, Resto. What you say we doing this? We doing this today? Hey, yo, nigga, cut them cameras off. I'm talking about something real serious right now. Well, what we doing today? Um, it's crazy. I'm getting this weird kind of text. It's just real crazy right now. What am I supposed to do about this? It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know what to do about this text. It's just real crazy. That's wild. Listen, don't be talking this kind of shit. You know I got a girl. Stop it. Don't do it. I feel like I'm on the DMX shit. Hey yo, ma. You know I got a wife. Even though that pussy died, I'm not to jeopardize my life. We not the importance. Yes, the importance of being wrestler. Like there are things that are important, but some of y'all just want to like, but I heard you might be going over to the spot to the link up, and I heard you might be writing your book. I just wanted to know if I could be a part of it. Like, you can't be a part of it. It's written. It's in here. Like there's no extra chapters I'm trying to bring up. Don't try to bring any extra chapters into it. Just don't do it. Chapters are already there in my mind. That's all. Good. 20,000 snatches under the wrestler. Damn, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot for me. That is a lot. Now, I mean, there are some people out there that says they got a lot of bodies. That's a lot. Wrestler Avengers? Nah, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. No, you gotta change that. It's not the Adventures of Wrestler Baggins. You gotta add extra to it. It's the Adventures of Wrestler T Baggins. There you go. That works. If you put the Adventures of Wrestler T Baggins, it sells. It sells. Then it sells. You're almost there. You're almost there. That sells. You're almost there. Don't get it can get you money. It'll get you something, but it won't get you the entire bill. She almost got the whole title. She's just missing a couple of parts. They're still laughing. Just saying, like we almost there. We could sell this book. I'm just saying, just got that right title. That right title. No, there's no schedule. There's no schedule. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to put forth everything in there. But we can't make this like Lord of the Rings. Like there can't be like several books yet. Like we're just trying to get the first book down. The first book down. So anyone that's trying to be a part of the book, like I need to chill. Like I'm still trying to build book one. Book two is already in my head. It's already part of my life. Now I don't know what book three is gonna be yet, but book one is just the foundation of how shit's coming through, how I became to be this guy. Book two is how I'm living my life and how everything's been happening throughout social media. Book three, though, book three is a different thing together. So for those y'all who sitting there trying to be part of book three, I need to chill out. Chill out. Don't be trying to write the narrative. Come on now. Come on now. Don't do that. So far, listen, Lindsay coming up with some pretty good titles. They gotta be a little bit refined, but so far, Lindsay coming up with some decent titles. I ain't gonna lie. I Wrestler? Nah. I Wrestler is almost like his equivalent of saying the Notebook. Nah. It just doesn't hit. It needs to be like, ooh, because here's the thing, ladies. If you're gonna make these titles, it needs to be able to sell to y'all. See, guys, well, I gotta make this. You know what? I gotta be like, when I write this book, I gotta have two titles for the same book. So I gotta have one that's like really raunchy for you ladies, and I gotta have another one that's more solidified, more informational for the general. So when I make the book, it's gotta be like a pink book, not even pink, because I know you ladies don't really like pink, but I gotta make like a yellow book, and I gotta make like a blue book. That you know what book to pick up. The yellow book is gonna be like closer for the ladies, and the blue book is gonna be real closer for the men. It might even be blue. It might be like a really dark purple, but like that's the book that's for the men, and the canary yellow is like for the women. But it's the same book, but the book has different wording. You know what I mean? That's the way. No, she already beat you to it. She already beat you to it. Nah, you can't be Wrestler Baggins. It's Wrestler T Baggins. There you get it. Then you'll get it. Mm, The serpent, the wrestler. I don't know. I think if it turned around, it was like the wrestler and the serpent. That sounds like the Harry Potter book. Now that I think about it, what was the book that had the serpent in it? The one that first started talking about Tom Riddle. Which book was that? It wasn't the Half Blood Prince. No, because that's Snape. What was what was the one with that first introduced Tom Riddle? I think it had to do with the serpent. I can't remember which one it was for a Potter book, but it was something along those lines. The naked and the wrestler? Nah. The wrestler and his serpent Mm. The talented Mr. Wrestler would get some people to buy only because they're curious. So that means the synopsis in the back needs to really be on point. That might be Chamber of Secrets. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. It might be Chambers of Wrestler. That might be a title. That might get it. I got a lot to consider. You got a lot of titles up here. They got a lot of titles. So I gotta consider what's going on with this book. I gotta reach out to a few people. Like, yo, we need to get some pooling together. We need to get some bread together so we can get this book coming out. You know what I mean? Hey, did you say my wooden love hammer? What? It can't be Wrestler Prime. It has to be Wrestlers Primed. And that can't be a book title. It might be a header for a chapter. If it's a header for a chapter, that might work. It can't be the name of a book. Like Resla's Primed is like the part where ladies will go like, "Oh my god, oh, did a header of that title? I'm a dog ear this part. I know it's about to get good. I know it's about to get good." So it might be one of those, but yeah, it can't be the title. Resla's Prime? No, dog ear this shit right now. I know it's gonna get good. I'm gonna put this shit to the side. So it might be one of those. But outside of that, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. Like, y'all got me interested in this because I'm really thinking about the title of a book. Because for a long time, people have been telling me, you need to write a book. You need to write a book. You got so much stories. You got so much shit going on. You got so much that you did, so much shit from your travels, so much shit that you've done with other people. You should really get this book going. And I'm just like, if I did, I don't know what I should put in and what I don't. because I don't know how far into truth I'll go, even if I say I put different names, right? There could be people that turn around and say, that was me. That's me he was talking about. I mean, how can you prove it? But there are people like, he's talking about me when he says that. Guys and gals. Hey, he's talking about me when he said the guy that got clipped in the mouth, or the guy who actually gave him the game to get this girl, the guy who fucked up, whatever. People will say shit in order to get money. So nah, wrestler takes Manhattan is absolutely, it's out. Anyone who knows me knows that I stay away from Manhattan by all means necessary. I try to stay away from Manhattan. Yeah, that nope, ain't no snake shit with me. Ain't no taking Manhattan. That's for sure. I don't. You got a better chance of me saying wrestler in Brooklyn, like vampire in Brooklyn, before having me take Manhattan. Not a fan of Manhattan at all. Not at all. Tourists piss me off. No respect for the wrestler. That could be a title, but I don't know how that whole book will play out with that title. No respect for the wrestler. Mm. How would that work out? I guess it depends on which frame of mind I guess I put the story in. Because like my book would not be like a struggle book. I know people like, especially black people, like to put their struggle. It would be about what I've done, how I got here, what my mindset is, what other people. It would be basically everything that I've done to get to this point that I tell you guys today, except for how I got there. Because most of you guys hear me talk. Some of you hear some of my topics or some of my takes on how I got here, but the book would be like how I got here, what my thoughts are, how I got here, how my life has changed in so many ways, the things that I've been willing to give up. And that's a difficult book to go through without a professional to give me the type of titles, the type of things to talk about. It would be difficult for me to really go through this book because there are so many things I remember and yet so many things I pushed away. And until I'm really thinking about it, I don't remember these things. I can remember them if I'm thinking about them and I'm recounting them, like, oh shit, and that happened. Oh shit, and that happened too. And then I need the right person to be like, so all this stuff happened. So I just need, okay, cool. So we're gonna take all this, everything I just heard, I just roll this stuff down, and we're gonna make that into our chapter. And then we're gonna reread the chapter and let me know what you think and if there's anything that should be or should be taken out. That's what I need. Me just talking shit and just trying to remember things, and it's gonna be only half without the person asking me or asking clarifying questions or calibrated questions would be difficult. This is why I know I'm a speaker. I'm not a writer, and I'm barely a speaker. Like I am a natural getting to know shit speaker. I'm not like going to Toastmasters, learning how to speak, doing big conferences. Like I am very average at it. The iron horse metaphor. I would like, because I know me for sure. If I did a book, even if it was in writing, I know me. I would want to do the audio version of that book, and because I know I'm gonna do the audio version of that book, it needs to sound as much as me as possible, so that when I give it to you, you get everything you've already known about me. The way I'm gonna say shit, the way I'm gonna put that out there, the way I'm gonna make fun of people's voices. I'm gonna do all of it. I'm gonna do all of it. You're gonna get my throwbacks. You're gonna get my freaking horsing around. You're gonna get my perversion of what my thoughts are of what the person might have been thinking versus what they were actually saying to me. and then how I got caught off guard, or if I wasn't off guard, or how I didn't expect things. Like, you're gonna get all that from me, and I don't. Eh, it's a difficult place to be in, because I don't know, I don't really know anyone who's a pro in that area who would get me started. To be honest with you, it's very difficult to be like, oh, we do this and we can talk about this. You write all this stuff down. Oh, but yeah, I don't. I would know. I would not know. But I know for a long time, for many, many years, way before I even started doing YouTube, by the way, that people would say, "Yo, you got to do a book for all the stories and all the shit that you tell us. You should really do a book." I ain't got one. They're like, "Yo," because here's the truth of the matter. Here's the truth of the matter. When I settled down with my girlfriend, the the quality of the quality of chaos, the quality of sporadic shit happening diminished. And I'm not complaining about it, to be honest with you. I'm not complaining, but a lot of the weird shit that would happen to me, a lot of the crazy wild shit that happened to me diminished a lot. And I sit down and just go, "Oh, so this is what I ask myself sometimes, is this what normal people go through, the things that I'm talking about?" Because outside of that, it wasn't like, now I know people who go through way more shit than I do. But when I think about my life today, I just go, I think it's pretty base compared to what I used to have to go through. Would I want to go through all that stuff again? I would not. I would not. Oh no, you can bury that silence of the Rams. Look, Rams. That no, that's gotta die. That's a bad one. Yeah, I I I can agree with that. There's definitely a lot of predictability predictability that happens. Less variety. I can agree with that. I agree with that a lot. Like, I can go through an everyday, even in my some of my old things, but the moment I stepped outside, it was a different story. So long as I stayed within the house, it was fine. But the moment I stepped outside, I didn't know. So yeah, I can agree with that. Have the lambs stop screaming yet? Uh, I would say within somewhere in these 8 years, somewhere along the lines of these 8 years, they stop they stop screaming. I would say definitely the last 3 years they have stopped screaming. They stopped screaming. But outside of that, it didn't matter where I went. There was someone out there trying. Jesus Christ! I just, I just want to go outside. I don't even want to buy this food. It's not even for me. And people would just be at, yeah. And you know what's the funny part about it? Could you say this, Lindsay? Like, the more variety added to your routine, the more trouble. Yeah, so I agree with this. I agree at the same time. It's because I have so much sporadic and the variety of things that used to take place for so long. Because there's so many things I want to do. To be honest with you, I want to do it. I miss being more active. I miss being going out. I miss having a little bit more variety. For those who know, like, one of the things I used to do even a bit was, if I didn't hit the, like, so in my younger years, even I want to go back to it, I used to hit the gym a lot, and sporadic and random shit would happen to me as I went to the gym. But then even after that, I stopped really going to the gym. I said, I gotta replace this with something else. Then I took up archery and knife throwing. And that brought a lot of sporadic shit to me. It's like, oh my gosh, you hit that target from this long. Oh my gosh, you shoot from this long. Oh my gosh, you hit the bullseye. And then it's like regardless of where I went, either some guy or some woman took interest. It's just really what it is. And I get it. Wrestler, what do you mean? We can only be really dealing with guys or women in our lifetime. Not what I meant. It's either some guy was like, either want to have competition with me, or it was like some woman that was interested in me. I'm like, yo, there's no reason to be interested in me. I just can hit a target. Oh my God, like I basically would drop draws on you. I'm like, I could just hit a target from feet away. Like you could calm the fuck down. What's going on, Snow? Appreciate you walking in. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, y'all could chill. Oh my God, you just threw that hatchet from so I did. Oh my God, you just threw that dagger from so I did. Oh my God, that made me so I'm like, you can chill. It's not that serious. To me, it wasn't that serious. I guess in the world of other people, especially when they see people that come out of no, and this is why I said like there are talents that we all have that are like unexplored. Because I guess to them, when I was hitting particular targets from a margin, they would be like, I don't know anyone who can hit it from there, like at that angle, in that throw. And I was like, what my throw? Your throw is totally off. And I was like, it was the same thing for me doing piano and even violin. They were like, your form is completely off, but somehow you're playing the notes. Like, because there's not just one way. And people are only used to one way in life. This is really what it is. They're used to one way in life. They're used to a way. They don't like detours. They don't like anything. So, and you know what it reminds me of? Any of y'all ever seen the movie Drumline, Nick Cannon? He couldn't read. He couldn't read the sheets. He couldn't do any of that stuff. But he could play the shit out of some drums. That was the storyline, and that was me. I could try to play the piano, but I would get bad remarks because I didn't follow what the finger placement of what a pianist would be. It would be I would try to learn the violin on my own, but then if I went to a pro, they'd be like, I don't even know how you're playing that because everything is just fucked up. And I'm just like, damn. It's one of the reasons why I really started trying to stay away from music because it was like, and honestly, it reminds me of a violinist, Lindsey Sterling, and one of my favorites who does music and everything, Lindsey Sterling. She makes really good music, but do many of y'all know that she went to America's Got Talent and they totally chewed her down? They chewed her the fuck up and spit her out, and yet she does world tours. She does world tours now. Lindsey Sterling is Lindsey Sterling is absolutely good at what she does. She's playing violin, she's dancing, she's got choreography, and yet these are the people like Howie Mandel and I think it was what's her face? What's her face? There was another woman, the woman with the red hair who it's been so long. Oh my gosh. And like yeah, but there was a few people like they chewed her the fuck out, and yet she tours. I think she still tours today. She's got albums out, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like there are people like not for nothing who will say that if you don't do things the way that they want it or the conventional way that you can't do things in the world. And I wish I learned that lesson really early in my life. I really, really wish I did because it would have helped me out. I would be way more successful in my life today if I had really learned a lot of that stuff. And that's why I like even when I start this stream today and I talk with you, right? Was it not Del Rey? No, because she was the wife of she was wife of a long term musician. I just can't remember because he's an old legend or whatever. I just can't remember because I just don't care. I was never a person that grew up in their music. Uh, I feel bad because he's a legend. He's known as a legend, but I just don't know his name. I can't think of his name, but he's very well known, and I just can't think of his name because he just doesn't matter to me. Yeah, it's so bad. But if you guys look up like America's Got Talent or whatever, and you just look down in the list of people who were judges, then eventually you'll find who she is. Who she is. It's just crazy. No, it wasn't Paul Simmons. No, no, Bro. No, it wasn't. It wasn't like that. I'm really mad. I can't remember who it is because they're British. By the way, they're British. But I'll say that much. I can remember that they're British. They're British. She didn't know music or anything herself, but they're British. And I can't remember who the fuck his name. I can't remember his fucking name. I can't remember their name, but he's British. He basically, nah, not sure. No, it wasn't. Damn. There you go. Osborne. Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne's wife. Yes. Yeah. You got it. That's what it is. Cheryl Osborne. Sharon Osbourne. Yeah. There you go. You're right. It was her. I couldn't fucking remember. Saved my life. You could have had a gun on my head. I would not have remembered. Osborne. You're absolutely correct. And it was her. It was Howie Mandel. It was somebody. It was the guy who runs fucking basically America's Got Talent and all the other shit. Simon Cowell. And they were dogging the shit out of Lindsey Sterling. And yet she became to be so much more because she didn't give up. I think if I had that kind of mentality, that kind of constitution, I would have held up. I would have been way bigger than where I am in my life right now. I'm not even gonna lie. But you don't know what you don't know when you wake up And that's what I tell a lot of people. And that's why I've been telling a lot of people who've been trying to reach out to me throughout the times of this year. Like, I'm not about the tribalism. I'm not just gonna be what you want me to be. I'm gonna talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And whether you agree with me, cool. But if you don't agree with me, that's also cool. Because I'm here for the thought. I'm not here to be in a gang. You know, I'm not interested in camping down under a particular banner or a particular flag. Because while we can argue about who is more oppressed, argue somebody else is out there, you know, doing everything to us. I'm like, what's that got to do for you and your everyday shit? How does that help you? What I'm trying to understand are, like I said, are people's ideologies and what their actual true thoughts and intentions. That's all I care about. So yeah, yeah. You can say, "Oh, fuck you, Resla. You're not for the culture." I'm like, well, how makes you think that? Because you're just not. Well, then you're not about this, and you're not about that. I'm like, so let me understand this. Because also, not being a part of a particular culture, not just black, but any particular culture, is that you shouldn't point out the bad things that are happening in that culture. You should only co-sign everything that's good. You should even co-sign all the things that are bad. And to me, that's not a thing. To me, because of how I look at things in the world, we're pointing out behavior. That's all I want. Human behavior within culture, behavior within individuals. It's not about culture. Anyone that just want to be stuck on culture, I think you're going to be fucked in the long run. I'm just my personal assessment. If you're going to be stuck on culture, you are going to be fucked in the long run. Because your culture is also built on society. It's not built on a skin tone. Let me say that again for the people in the back row. Your culture is also built on society that you live in. It is not built on your skin tone. You can call me detached. You can call me different. You can make all the jokes, but I'm not walking around looking over my shoulder talking about a boogeyman. I'm not sitting here praying over a deity that you can't even say was really your ancestors in the first place that got brought here. That's for my black people. I don't also go walking around in ignorance, but I also don't walk around thinking I should fear everybody. This is not about a white person thing because not quite frankly, the world is bigger than the world. I live in New York. I don't know where you guys are all living, but to me, I deal with more than just white people. I have to deal with many people's thoughts. I have to deal with how the Asian person looks at me. I have Asian people that walk away from me. Should I think about them as white? No. I got any people that stay next to me. Should I think of them as also black? No. Fear is the easiest way to control any free person. And that's just not who I am. You don't have any reason to fear me until you cross me. And I say that for everybody, because here's the truth of the matter: you don't know what they know. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know how skilled they are or how underskilled they are. You don't know if they got a weapon on them. You don't know anything. So let me go back to asking you guys basically the question that got written down up here. What's the finish line here? What is considered to be enough? When every ethnicity, every other ethnicity is trying to find their way throughout their life, throughout a support system, throughout the government, throughout other social programs, throughout this economy, what exactly is enough when everybody seems to be, regardless of where you are, you only look at things as black, then you only look at things black. You look at things as white, you only look at things as white. If you only look at things Indian or Asian, whatever, you only look at things from that end. But there's another end of that candle that's burning. What's the plan? What's left after all the slurs, after all the slogans, after all of the quote panel talks that go nowhere? Said what I said. After all of the bigotry and all the outrage, what's next? What is left afterward? I have been standing here on the edge, people, waiting to hear what's more, because I keep hearing what's consistent. I'm trying to figure out who's actually ready to build and who just likes the sound of arguments. Whatever you're thinking on the far extreme, you're never going to get it. 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 You're never going to get it. On either side of the extreme, you are never going to get it. We are far past the time of think. Anyone that is in their mind thinking that they can go back to our time, you are never going backwards in the past. Let me say it again. We don't go backward as society. Tell me where in history that we go backwards. It's never happened. You can talk about your 50s. You can talk about the fucking 2000s. You can talk about fucking the whatever back in the Crusades. You can talk about whatever the fuck you want. We don't go backwards as human beings. We've never gone backwards. You're not going to get your slaves again, white people, for those who want it. Hey, for your Hispanic people, you're never going to get Mexico back from America. Blacks, you're never going to be back in slavery. But you're never actually going to go back to knowing what it was like being in Africa. What do we do now? That's the most important thing. What do we do now? What do we do today? How do we move forward? Holding on to areas that we know very little about, to be honest with you. And then for those other people, praying that we can go back into an area that you really don't know shit about. You only know what you read. You know what your great grandparents or your grandparents talked about. You really don't know shit, though. How does that help us today, and what do we do today? Being stuck in the past and looking at the present doesn't give us a future. Understanding the past and looking at the present can give us a future. Holding on to it and only being stuck there is not going to give you a future. There's this saying, right? It's in the God of War game. Some people, he's a white guy. Follow the saying, not the skin tone. There are things that happen in this world because in the game of life, right? It doesn't matter what happens to you. It matters how you respond. I tell people all the time, especially when they do something that's wrong, whether it's wrong to me or wrong to the individual, I tell them, don't be sorry. Your resolution is what matters. What you do in the future, how you conduct yourself in the future, what the things that you promote, the way you act in the future are the things that will matter to showing that you've actually understood. I don't want to hear I'm sorry. Your sorry doesn't mean shit if you're going to do exactly that same shit again. Your sorry is meaningless if you're going to repeat what you did. In the game God of War, when Kratos is talking to his son in the early years of his life in the first game, he yells at his son for taking a shot at a deer too early. It's my memory. As Kratos is berating his son, he says, do not fire. He takes a breath as a father, and then he says, only fire when I tell you to fire. Because his son fired early and now scared the deer off. And now the deer has got his awareness up. His defenses are up. His son, Atreus, says, I'm sorry. He says, do not say I'm sorry. Be better. In the future, his son is much grown, developing himself as a man. And Kratos is understanding that he's been holding his son back, and that he can no longer prevent his son. He can no longer see his son as the boy that he was. He now has to try to understand him as a man. And he's understanding all his failings as a father to this young man and holding him back. And how critical he's been of him. You know what his son says? Don't be sorry, father. Be better. And as Kratos is holding his head low, all you can do is pick it up and slightly smirk of hearing his words casted back to him. What do we do after that? For Kratos, he just had to learn to accept it. To accept that everything he wants is not going to be the way it is. That eventually we have to move forward. That we can't just keep holding on to what was. Because what was will not become. What was will stay what it was. Let me say that again. What was what it was. What it was will not become. This is where I even run to the whole thing where I tell you guys, used to be don't make no honey. Do not preach to me about what it used to be. What it used to be does not produce anything of substance for now or the future. No. So you say the present is just as important as the future. It's absolutely not true. That's false. The present is just as important as the past. The present does not dictate the future. If the present was just as important as if the present was just as important as the future, then the future will only reflect the present. The problem with people that are fighting today is that the problem with people today is that they believe the past is just as important as the present, but they can see that the present has changed so much from the past. How did that happen? The past does not shape the present. The past will never change what the present's going to be. Just like the present will never change what the future is going to be. If that was the case, if the present was so prevalent and so important that to the future, keep in mind, everyone's present was someone's past, which means that this whole thing about let's just say LGBTQ would have never came to be. It would have never came to be because someone would have said back then in their present, not the future, their present, that we cannot let this happen. And therefore, our future, today's present, would not worry about these. The truth of the matter is this: you cannot stop something from forming. You can slow it down, but you cannot prevent it from forming. The same thing as aging. You can slow down your aging. You can't prevent it. You can slow down the decomposition. You cannot stop it for eventually molding out. All things change. Change is inevitable. That's how we got here. All things change. You cannot do anything to stop it. People love to believe that they have the power, even as a collective group, that they can stop things. You can only delay it. You cannot stop it. All things age because age is the biggest representation of time. Like water, when we say you can stop water, but eventually, given enough time, water will find its way to the thing that we're trying to block it from. Time is the factor. Age will catch up to us regardless of what we're doing. Regardless of how much you ladies want to put on makeup and try to say like, oh, 30 is the new 20s. Oh, 40 is the new 20s. 50 is now the new 20s. You're still 50. Your body, regardless of your face. And it's the same thing for guys. I still feel like I'm 30 years old. I still look like I'm 30 years old. You're still 50. Your looks has no bearing on time. Your thoughts have no bearing on time. Time does not care about what you think. Time is inevitable. This is why I tell people, especially for younger people, turn around and say, "Oh, nigga, you 40 something years old." You know what I tell them? Yeah, I earned this because I can point to so many people in my life who are in their 20s and their teens that didn't get to make it. I earned this. I earned being this old. I didn't get lucky. Here's the truth of the matter, and I tell the young people this. I'm 43. With how sporadic and how random life is, can you be guaranteed that you're going to make it to see my age? How do you know you won't have a heart attack in your late 20s to early 30s, mid 30s? How do you know that you're going to make it longer than me? You don't. This is the perception of gratitude. You're not guaranteed anything in this world. And everything in this world is subject to change. How we got here is because the world changed. How we're able to communicate today is how the world changed. How the future will be able to, quote, survive will be because of how the world changes. There are elderly people who are online right now talking with people of all factors of ages. Why? Do we want to believe that? Because there's no way that can be a thing because old people are just sitting in a nursing home, just ready to live their day. They don't know shit about social media. Is that true though? I can point to at least 3 people who are sitting in their senior years that are online debating with all kind of people, talking with all kind of people, and they're not even content creators. Why? Because they learned to adapt. You saying that you look as good, you feel as good as you look. That's really what it is. You feel as good as you look. Not look as good as you feel. Because if you're judging that you feel good based on how you look, but you don't go to the gym, you don't keep yourself up to date, you don't keep your mind and your body updated, your looks don't mean shit. You're still subject to heart attacks. You're still subject to cholesterol. You're still subject to having to change your diet. You're subject to all that shit. You being in a state of fitness, a state of awareness, a state of adaptation. That is the most important part. Adapting to your time, not holding time to your standards. This is the problem when it comes to people, to so many people. They want the world to stay within their. And I'm not saying you, Lindsay. I'm just talking about people in general. I talk to more than people than you, obviously. But there's so many people I speak to that want to hold the world within their good old days. And I'm like, your good old days is not even the good old days. Because your parents, your grandparents, thought that their days were the best days. And they think that you're fucked up. If I had my grandparents around, they would say that my days right now are all fucked up. They would say, as a millennial, you guys fucked up the world. They would say that. If my great grandparents were around, they would probably look at my parents and turn around and say that they fucked up the world. Why? Different times, more simpler. Our people that's coming afterwards will look at us and say, this is the best time it's ever to be in. We look at them and say, oh, please, you don't know what it was like when you can get on the bus for under $2. And to them, why does that matter? You don't know what it was like when you can get a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin for under $5. They go, okay, cool. Back in those days, did you have an iPad? No, I didn't have an iPad. There was no iPad back then. How do I care then? We're judging the world on our perception, not on the reality of the way the world is. And this is what we talk about adaptation. Seeing the world as it is, not as we want it to be, not as it was. This is when I say, used to bees don't make no honey. The world of when men and even women can be in their 40s and even their 50s and be at the club or be in the streets. You don't got to be at the club, be in the streets. And there's some 20-year-old something that walks up to you and says, hey, boo, are you looking for a sugar baby? No, I'm not looking for a sugar baby. I can't afford you. Oh, okay. Well, you ain't got to pay for me. I just think that, you look really good. I'm like, where your father at? Like, I didn't know my father. And then they pop the bubble gum and they say, but you can be my daddy. It's different. It hits different. Back way in the days, girls and guys were afraid to do that because why? It didn't look good. They would actually get shamed, by the way, from their peers. Fuck the parents, grandparents. They would get shamed. Hey, yo, Jason, you trying to get with that old? I like her. Nigga, that's weird. But now we accept cougars. We accept sugar mamas. We accept sugar daddies. Because times have changed. Do we still have some people that have a problem with the whole age difference? Sure. But do we have more of an acceptance now today than we ever did before? The answer is a resounding yes. And we have more of an acceptance for something that was already taking place. Because by the way, we had a problem with male teachers that were taking advantage of their students. Now you rarely ever hear of male teachers. You hear about all the female teachers. So just think about how many teachers well before, when the male teachers were getting ransacked, that were getting away with it. I'm suggested that it's your turn. It's not just the males now. It's your turn. Women, now you can be predators. You too can be a predator. You too can be a predator. You too can be a rapist. You too. You too. You too can be an abuser. You too can be that. This has happened because time has changed. Because society has learned to adapt to current methods of what's already been taking place in the world. You too can be these things. What more is there to say? The idea of thinking that you can hold the world back because you don't want to move forward is done. It is over. OVAH. It is over. Anybody can get it. That is the world we live in today. Which means that if you are somewhere in the line of people who just want to believe that you want to just ride for your own, you can do that. But don't think that you won't be looked at with the ire of bigotry, with the ire of racism, even with the ire of strong prejudice. You will be. You can't hide from that. Doesn't matter if you're looking at me and saying, how could I? Which I didn't really do anything. Or if you're looking at me and saying, why don't you? Here's my thing, and I tell this to so many people. If you have the ability to watch me on YouTube, then you have the ability to start a channel of your own. Instead of saying what somebody else should do, why don't you do it? You have the power yourself. And that's actually part of the part of my channel itself. You also have the power to get started and to share your voice. And maybe if there's enough people in the world who's able to share their opinions, maybe we won't even have other people like corporations or our government telling us what we can and can't say, violating our First Amendment. It's just a matter of time. But there are too many people out here in this spacing of the internet that try to tell us what we can and cannot say, rather than being the people who actually get online to say and not say the things themselves. That is my point. Guys, it is 1 something in the morning, almost 1:15 in the morning. I'm going to leave you with you guys here. We have done damn for sure over 3 hours. I'm going to let you guys have it. Next time I talk, I don't even know what the hell I'm really going to talk about. Like I said, I wanted to have this conversation, a talk before a talk, because we need to get into it. There's a lot going on. We need to get into it. And I'm not sure how I feel about a lot of things. I don't really like the people who want to quote, as we just, even I was talking about what you were saying, Lindsay, want to get stuck in a particular mindset. Not saying your mindset and just talking about the past and the present, the past and the future, but there are all people who get stuck in the past, try to hold that shit in the future, and then try to hold us in the present, and turn around it's going to be the future. No. That's not the way that works. If you want a better future, you must change things in your present from your past. That's the way how that works. You can't drag the past into the present and then say we're going to have a future. That's not the way that works. You have to look at the past look at the future and then say I want to change things you have to drag things from the past, look at look in the present, and then say I want to change my present so that I can have a better future. People are not looking at things that way. They don't. And I just want to have the conversation. So why is it you're so stuck in the past? Good reason. I know why you want to be in the past. And I understand what you're looking at here in the present. But what do you plan to do other than just talk? What do you plan to do in the present to make sure that you have a better future? And that goes to everybody: white, black, Indian, Hispanic, Asian. It goes to everybody. What do you plan on doing differently outside of just running your mouth about the past? That's it. That's my thoughts. I'll leave you to it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, y'all.